This story of struggle, this story of uncertainty is what I thought worth documenting. It all started with the idea that I wanted to travel back to India in the month of October. As you can expect, traveling in this time of pandemic is not that easy. But I didn't stop. I kept the hope alive. I was figuring out if there is a way to travel, a way to safely travel. After doing a lot of research, I thought now I can travel. I went through social media. I tried contacting people who already traveled, and then in the second fortnight of September, for around 1 week, I kept tracking the price rates of Lufthansa flight from Hamburg to Bangalore. Later, after gathering a lot of courage, on 19th of September, I booked Lufthansa flight from Hamburg to Bangalore, which will departure on 7th of October. The idea was to travel on 7th from Hamburg to Frankfurt and then from Frankfurt to Bengaluru and later returning back to Hamburg on 6th of November. That's also like Bangalore to Frankfurt and then Frankfurt to Hamburg. Later, for a couple of days, things were going normally. I was busy with my schedule, and the only concern that I had was, will I be able to travel back to Hamburg and rejoin my work here? Things were normal, but I don't know why. There was a strange fear in my mind. It sounds crazy now, but each day I was checking my booking details on Lufthansa website. My fear became true on 29th of September, which is 10 days after the booking, when I received an email from Lufthansa which says that there's only a return journey from Bengaluru to Hamburg, but no outbound journey from Hamburg at all. I didn't stop. Immediately, I called Lufthansa helpline. I waited for an hour to get the connection. Finally, I was talking to helpline number. Then they said, "Yes sir, you have only return journey. The onward journey to Bengaluru got cancelled. The flight got cancelled. There is no flight to go to Bengaluru." Finally, by 1st of October, I could manage a reschedule. According to this, I will travel on 9th of October from Hamburg to Frankfurt via Lufthansa and from Frankfurt to Bengaluru via Air India flight. I said, okay, I will travel on 9th of October. Then there was a change in the return journey. The flight on 6th of November got cancelled and they said Lufthansa flight will bring me back to Hamburg from Bengaluru on 7th of November. I said, okay, no problem for me. I will travel on 7th of November itself. Cope up with me. The uncertainty is not yet over. On the next day, my booking details were like this. On 9th of October, I will travel from Hamburg to Frankfurt via Lufthansa, but I will travel to Bengaluru from Frankfurt on 23rd of October. That's via Air India. Really? I called Lufthansa helpline again. Believe me, I literally waited for 4 hours to get a connection. Listening to the caller tune for 4 hours, continuous 4 hours online. It was the craziest thing that I have ever done. In all these times, I had no idea why the flights are getting cancelled, why they are doing the reschedule, what's actually happening. I clearly had no idea at all. Later, Lufthansa people told me that until October 20th, there are no flights going from Germany to India. I can travel on 21st of October by Lufthansa flights itself. By that time, I heard the news that there was a dispute between Lufthansa and DGCA of India, so there are no flights going from Germany to India, and also later within few days Germany also withdrawn its permission to Air India flights to land in Germany. So it looked like there are no direct connection between Germany and India until October 20th. Listening to all these, I had no hopes of traveling at all. I thought it's just impossible to travel in the month of October. Maybe I have to reschedule my journey to India. But still, I was keen to travel to India. I was like, I have to go to in the month of October itself. What can I do? Is there any possibility or any chance that I can take? I got to know that I can travel with Air France from Hamburg to Paris and Paris to Bengaluru. And immediately I was like, what should I do now? I have a booking in Lufthansa. Now I have to book again in Air France. I called Lufthansa people, requested a refund, and then decided to book Air France. I have an Air France ticket to travel from Hamburg to Bengaluru via Paris on 9th of October and return journey with KLM flight from Bangalore to Hamburg via Amsterdam on 6th of November. Now it's time to do a lot of registration. Everything is new because of COVID-19. I have to request a clearance from Embassy of India in Paris, get a certificate from them to travel to India, which I have to produce to Air France in order to board the flight, and then I have to submit a undertaking form saying that I want to travel from Paris to India and I am responsible for all the things that may happen, and I should also self-report in the Air Suvidha portal on behalf of Ministry of Health and Family Welfare, where I should give all the details from where I am traveling, what is my final destination in India, which is the first entry of airport, everything I have to do. So far so good. Now I have boarding pass in my hand and the big day is tomorrow. Until then, good night. Good morning, it's 9th of October. The time is about 3:40 in the morning. There should be a cab at 4:10 to pick me up to the airport. Fingers crossed. My luggages are ready and it's miles to go before I sleep. After a half-hour cab journey, finally we are here. After quarter of an hour of waiting in the queue, I got my boarding pass, I gave my check-in luggage, and now it's time to go to security check-in. I have done with the security check-in. Now I have to go to gate C4. I still have about 45 minutes for my flight, but I need 10 minutes at max to reach there. At this early morning, I actually expected very little crowd in the airport, that too in the time of pandemic, but that was not the case. Right now I am proceeding to board the flight. So, the first leg of the journey is completed. Now I am in Paris. And this was the flight which brought me from Hamburg. Here in Paris, they just let me to take a connecting flight. Now I have to go to Terminal 2E, and this is the way. I don't know how long I should walk, but there is absolutely no need to hurry. I have 2.5 hours of layover in this beautiful Paris airport. So the immigration was way quicker than what I expected. So officially out of European Union. Transferring from one gate to another is taking a lot of time here in Paris. It's a very big airport. I thought since I am arriving at 2F and next flight boarding at 2E, it will be very near and I can just have a few minutes of walk, but actually it's taking much more time. Have a look at this beautiful airport. I'm about to board the Air France flight from Paris to Bengaluru. This will be one of the longest flight that I have ever had in my life. So the flying time will be 10 hours and the total number of passengers in this flight will be 208. And here while boarding they are doing the thermal check, which I didn't had at Hamburg airport. Let's see what happens. There is still a very long queue for boarding. I think I will be the last one who is getting into the flight because I didn't stand in the queue. So have to see what happens. Now it's time to get into the flight. So this will be the last leg of my journey.
To locate the sign nearest you. It may be behind you.
Okay.
Les issues de secours sont situées de chaque côté de la cabine. À l'avant, au centre, à l'arrière. Emergency exits on each side of the cabin are located at the front, in the center, and at the rear. Pour évacuer l'avion.
Finally, I'm in Bengaluru. Temperature check, pulse check, everything is done. Customs is done, immigration is done. So now going to claim my bags. I got my bag within a minute. The story of struggle ends here.